Começou a transmission iniciar a edição. Let's begin the transmission. I'm going to read HOMESTUCK. Oh meu Deus. I'm going to read HOMESTUCK. Tá. O áudio tá diferente porque eu mudei de microfone. Talvez vocês não tivessem percebido isso, mas agora eu já falei. É o que temos, Foi um upgrade. Pra mim foi. Eu espero que eu tenha configurado a live corretamente pra ser também na live. Acredito que sim. Mas se não tiver bom... Se não tiver bom... Ah, tá bom sim, que bom, ok. Tá, vamos lá. Continuando de onde paramos. Finalmente vamos ter o diálogo de Dave e Dirk. So, that was pretty fucking weird, huh? Yeah. That was your sister? Sort of. But I guess she fused with her dead cat or something. Dead cat? The bottom line is, we turned our back for 2 seconds and a shenanigan happened. Pretty much business as usual. At least, that's how it rolls for us. I don't know about you guys here. No, yeah, that's pretty much true here too. Yeah? I turned my back once. Never again. What happened? A muscular troll took my sprite. I then acquiesced into merging him with my jackass pair of sunglasses. Oh, right. That guy. Yeah. Yep. That's it. It's happening. Nothing is happening, yeah. So indeed. So it's pretty much the thing we're saying. That's our conjunction of choice, it seems. Fuck. I guess you all pretty much showed up then. Yeah, pretty much. Like, before I even got back. After the werewolf girl appeared and... Wait, what happened with that? It's like a whole story, man. Mostly involving VRISKA. VRISKA? If you knew her, you would know that's all I had to say. You'd be like, oh, it's a VRISKA thing. Okay, got it. Forget I asked. She brought you here too, actually. Then jumped her ass in that window to go do whatever crazy bullshit she thinks needs getting done. Oh, right. Her. Then, I guess... stuff in this session is pretty much sorted out, finally. Shrug, maybe. And we're about to do battle. Seems like it. Oh, are we ready for that? Kind of. Kirkett made some drawings, so... Are you ready? I guess. I've got like a sword and shit. Cool, me too. Yeah, I know. Mine's not that good. Oh, that's too bad. What type of sword? It's Welsh. I mean, possibly fake Welsh. I'm not that sure. Well, mine's good. I know. It's Japanese. For real? No, I don't know. Probably fake Japanese. Fake Japanese. Kinda like how all anime probably takes place in some kind of fake Japanese universe. Something like that. Oh, that's cool. Though, getting a sword from a place like that, yeah. Tough. Não dou. Yeah, they are definitely talking. That's happening. That's a dialogue, I guess. So, when are we supposed to fight? God, I hope soon. Os reis do awkward. I can't choose. So, let's go. Rose still dying. Okay, now that that little episode seems to be over, Roxy, maybe you can introduce us to your friend for real this time? Rose, I think you can come out from under the pillow now. No? Yeah, so like the hilarious Cheshire Cat Rose already pointed out, this is my friend from the Dead Collie, and she's super pretty. She was my web friend online for a long time, and Jane's too. Jane, you just saw her, but here she is again, alive and everything. Hi, so good to see you again. Yes, likewise, Jane. And without your troll sona, no less. This is your true form, I presume. I think both Roxy and the enthusiastic cat girl are correct. Your natural appearance is quite handsome. Gosh, I'm sorry. I do not know how to reply to such remarks. Maybe it is because I can't bring myself to agree, no matter how nice it is for you to say so. I hear ya. Taking compliments can be kinda hard sometimes. Like, if it's a weird subject for you, we can lay off. Collie, you are surrounded by ass-kissers. You should allow me to lick your face so I can make an objective determination. Damn it, Terezi! It is the only way we'll know for sure. Though, if I'm being honest, you smell pretty ugly from where I'm standing. Oh my god, you are terrible. Boa noite, Cadu. Como vai tu? Please, John. I did not mean that in an unflattering way. I think having a skull for a head is pretty sick. If given the choice, I might rock the look myself, but I wouldn't stand for a bunch of clawing weenies sitting around calling me pretty. If that's how people reacted, what would even be the point of looking like a badass cool girl in the first place? Okay, I guess that is your opinion on that then. Thanks for sharing, Terezi. Don't listen to her, Kelly. She's a weirdo. Yeah. Ah, tá bom. Até a próxima, então. Obrigado por passar aqui. A carinha da Roxy, mano. Ela é muito preciosa, velho. Até a Terezi. So, anyway, regardless of how you feel about yourself, or whatever thing a rude troll may have to say, I think you're very cute. Even though you look a lot like your terrible brother, the fact that you are nice inside makes a huge difference. I think that when you're really a good person deep down instead of an evil jerk, the school monster look becomes a lot more charming. Oh, he's right. Wow, thank you. You met my brother? Yeah, he's garbage. I'm really sorry you had to grow up with him. Me too. I roughed him up a bit though, so it's all good. Ripped up his cape pretty good too. He has a cape now? Not anymore. Hey, look! There it is. Nice. What? The ring. I helped track it down through time for Roxy, so she could give it to you. It's so cool to see that it works. Yes! I feel so much more substantial now. You must be a really good friend to her for her to want to bring you back so much. Yes, she's as good a friend as I could ever hope for. But then, since you helped, I suppose I owe you just as much gratitude, don't I? Nah, not really. I had to save the ring anyway, so, and it just seemed like the right thing to do, giving it to her since she was so worried about you. It should be a nice thing that it's between her and you. I'm just a middleman. Haha, okay. Anyway, it's really nice to meet the person who finally gets to wear the highly touted ghost ring. It probably means you are pretty special to end up with it. What do you think you will do with your life now that you're alive and free from your jerky bro? Oh, wow. I hadn't thought about it. The idea is overwhelming, really. Well, don't sweat it. You have a lot of time to figure it out. That's kind of the point of life, right? To take a lot of time floundering around, figuring stuff out. The answer will come to you eventually. You should just try to have fun. Yo, throw grouch. John is so nice. Ugh, it's fucking me up. I know. It's disgusting. Excuse me, Collie? What happened after I woke up? We were all following that mysterious path. Did you and Jade discover where that led? Yes, I met my other self. Oh, so you found her then? Indeed. Or more likely, the timing in the furthest ring was right. Perhaps she sensed me in some way and untangled a path through the darkness. The darkness. In other words, it feels more as though I was summoned, rather than being the one to find her. She seems tremendously powerful. She's also quite frightening. Frightening? Not that I think she's dangerous or has ill intent. My impression was very much to the contrary. Fala, Gabriel. E aí, como vai tu? Tudo bom? Still, while speaking to her, I can't remember ever feeling so nervous. Not even my brother made me feel that way. A gente tá na parte dos diálogos que era pra ter sido um menu de escolha, mas não é um menu de escolha. A gente tá tendo que ler na ordem certinha. Acabei de ter uma conversa desconfortabilíssima do Dave com o Dirk. E agora a Calliope tá conversando com o John. Her demeanor was so severe and chilling, and so unlike mine, I think. Maybe that's why you felt weird? Seeing a version of you that wasn't like you at all? Maybe. So what happened? Not much. My presence there essentially freed her from that place, according to a pact she made with Echidna. She and Jade then left. To do what? I do not know. That is when Roxy found me. So, you were only there to release her? Are you sure there isn't something important for you to do now that you're alive with us? I doubt it. For one thing, I have virtually no useful abilities. I don't mean to badger you. I'm just wondering how you fit into all this. Getting to wear a one-of-a-kind ring and returning to join a group about to wage a pivotal battle, that strikes me as the profile of someone meant to do something important. What do you think you'll do? Maybe it doesn't have to work that way, though. What if those are just some facts about her which let her come back to life, but they don't have to mean anything other than that? Like anything about having to do some huge fancy thing. I guess so. First Dave tells me human beings don't have arcs, and now you're telling me the culmination of an epic doesn't require a messianic archetype to return from the dead, thereby providing the key to everyone's salvation? I wonder what sturdy and time-tested narrative construct Jade is going to debunk whenever she wakes up. Maybe she will lay waste to the notion of endgame ships? Karkat won't be happy about that. Huh? Okay, I don't know what stuff you're going on about there, but I just don't think she should feel like she has to do anything she doesn't want to. I think the truth is, I won't be doing much of anything. My other self told me as much. Her advice was to just live and exist as the version of us for whom that is an actual possibility. She's the one who will be doing important things. How so? She didn't say. Isn't that just how it always is with alt selves? So cryptic. Hey guys, it's been cool having y'all meet Kelly and such, but do you think she and I could have a moment alone? Got some stuff I want to talk about. Okay, next one. Oh, it's gonna be good, I guess. Esse ato é um dos mais fracos, na sua opinião? Eu acho que a parte mais fraca já passou. Mas daqui a pouco tá chegando coisas muito, muito hype. Então vale a pena. You know, I've gotta say, I really turned around on horses. What? Horses? Ok, começamos cedo hoje. Vamos lá. I used to hate them. Remember? I developed this weird superstition about them, about how they're cursed or something, and when they are around, they can only lead to bad things happening. Don't you remember how I was going on and on about that a while ago at the amusement park? Oh, guess so. But we've been hanging around then a while now, and everything's been fine. More than fine, actually. So yeah, horses are okay in my book. What do you think, Mina? About what? Horses! They okay. Kinda dumb and smelly. Be making like fucked up sounds out their big ass snouts and floppy lips. Yeah. Reminds me of the weird sound that used to come from my neighbor's hive at weird hours of the night. The fuck? Don't even ask, because I don't know. Ele, o homem da vez, chegou! Feliz aniversário! É muito gente fina, bacana pra chuchu. Feliz aniversário! É muito gente fina, bacana pra chuchu. Hey! Parabéns, Sica! Seja bem-vindo à live! Parabéns pelo seu dia! Tudo de bom pra você! Guarda bolo pra nós! E vamos comemorar! Vamos lá!
Emotional damage.
Ah, mano. Uma salva de palmas pro Rica. Tá fazendo seus 12 aninhos. Parabéns, parabéns. Parabéns pelo seu dia. Como é que você tá? Tudo bom? So, enough about stupid animals whose presence have no rational explanation anyway. What do you want to do today? Today? Yeah, there is no today. Oh, you know what I mean. Within the ambiguous time frame that would loosely correlate with a single rotation of a planet. Any ideas? Nah. Oh, come on. We can't just spend all our days hanging out in this idyllic, bizarrely paletted cliffscape with all these stinking idiot quadrupeds. We should go exploring some more bubbles. Dia cansado? Ah, é bom que você descansa agora, né? De noite. Você toma banho relaxante, dá uma deitada e dá uma descansada. Ah, tô de boas. We explored an awful lot already. Ain't they sorta all the same by now? I mean, roughly speaking, yeah. They're all arbitrary memory collages, I guess. But there's always something new to see every time. Whose ridiculous memory we will visit next? Like some nutty version of Kanaya who became a god tier in some totally ludicrous version of our session? Or maybe a version of John who never even played the game at all? Maybe he went outside to look for the game and his fatherly losses backed over him with his car? Or what about your friends? They're always fun. Like Nepeta's ancestor, the deaf one? She's a riot. Plus, she has a fascinatingly dark history which her memories always seem to hint at. Or Eridan's douchier clone. I know you have a great time whenever you get the chance to own him. So, what do you say? Yeah, I don't know. But you seem kinda bored. If you're bored, doesn't it make sense to get out and try to have fun? Not really. But why? 'Cause it doesn't sound that fun. Just sounds like the same shit as always. Like, exactly like dreams. Dreams? They are dream bubbles after all. Yeah, but I don't... Dreams are also like a crazy fantasy ride full of fake shit that makes no sense. It's a great time in theory, and I guess when you're younger, it's fun. Maybe you even look forward to sleeping to see what the great Mr. Sandclam has in store for you next. But after sweeps and sweeps of dreaming, you get used to it. It's just the same bogus crap your stupid brain is just shuffling up and serving you again and again. So you stop paying attention and just ride out your sleep. Then get back to business in the real world like a legit person with cool plans. Huh. I don't think I've had the same experience, honestly. Sounds like kind of a bummer to look at dreaming like that way. I always like dreaming. I mean, unless they're always awful dreams. Unless they were awful dreams, which was fairly often. But I'd never say I really got bored of them. Yeah, well, you are a bit younger than me. I am. Yeah, I guess so. I never thought about it. Then again, we fuchsia ladies, we sorta have to get used to being around people younger than us over our full lives. Like, much younger. Or at least I'd have to if I was actually alive. I guess you're right about that too. That's pretty fucked up to think about, actually. That if you were alive, you'd have to deal with existing nearly forever. Almost as fucked up as the fact that you have to exist nearly forever while dead too. Hey. Are you okay? Yep. You seem really down. No, I'm cool. Are you sure? Nah, maybe not. Don't matter. What's wrong? Nothing. You know you can talk to me, right? Yeah? So tell me. I don't know what's wrong. I'd tell you if I knew. Are you depressed? Shrug. It sounds to me like you may be depressed about something. Or just in general? I don't know. Damn, Fishka. Hey, it's okay to be depressed. I think just because you're dead, that doesn't necessarily let you off the hook from having psychological problems. I'm pretty sure I proved that to myself on more than one occasion already. Yeah. So, talk to me. Maybe I can help. Ugh. What's the big deal? I don't wanna. Mina, wait. I'm not good at, talking about me. That's all you ever talk about? No, I mean, I'm a non-aggrandizing way. Oh. Sorry if I'm interrupting whatever the fuck is going on here, but I'm afraid I'm going to need that treasure. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Okay. Hey, hope you don't mind I pulled you off to the side like this. Away from other nice paws for only 1+1 rocks and call time. I might be greedy as shit. I don't mind at all. I'm still getting used to the concept of in-person socialization at all, let alone with many people. And yes, you may be greedy, but if so, then so am I by the exact same standard. Fuck yeah! Like a couple of friendship burglars picking each other pockets all shifty-eyed and looking out for cops. But also giggling, I guess, because that is in the spirit of scenario in question. Yes, I can't believe you're really here. It hardly seems real. After all these years, and how you were just like a mystery friend online, and then how worried I was we might lose you for good. But now, wow, I know. So you and Jane and Jade were hanging out? Yes, it was great. We drew and told stories. I'd heard you died, so I was holding out some hope that you would show up too. And you did eventually, just not the version of you I expected. I never dared to think you would bring me this gift. Well, I swore I would. And John kinda double swore he would help. Damn, the kid is persistent. I like him. He's easy to talk to. Yeah, I've read about him, of course. The reality of someone standing in front of you is quite different from what you read about them in a text. But then, I have no idea how accurate anything I read is anymore. I always believed I was in possession of the text which decoded your future, and I behaved toward all of you in that sly and knowing manner, avoiding spoilers and such. That was probably presumptuous of me, though, in hindsight. I clearly didn't know that much. I certainly didn't read about. I certainly didn't read anything about my own involvement. I never could have imagined being here. You were still helpful, though. You were the force in our lives that gave us hope that we could all get together someday. Going down that road has been crazy, and by no means a smooth ride. I'm losing count of all the times it looked like everything was about to break or catch fire, or actually did break and catch fire, resulting in loads of dismay. But when you look back, every time things went to shit, there was always something constructive about that turn of events, something that was necessary for the good outcome to happen at all. So, whenever something stupid happens, like some a-hole gets a bonehead idea to steal a ring, and then everyone dies horribly, and at the time you think you're just gonna curl up and cry yourself into weepy non-existence, maybe those aren't even bad realities? Maybe they are as important as any. And so are all the experiences that you had in them, and so are the experiences of everyone who died, because you don't just get to say your experiences are more important or significant just because you happen to be someone who survived longer. I guess what I'm saying is, I'm grateful you let me go on this adventure, and not even in spite of the hardship it involved. I just had a little time to think about it in the Firefly nothing space. And I think all of it was good. I'm happy that I could play such a role in your lives. I don't know if I deserve much credit for these positive revelations about your journey, though. You are the one who's been on the adventure. I have barely taken my first step. I spent all my life in my room, and then every moment in the afterlife cowering in fear. It's only now that true participation is even a possibility. But even so, I really doubt I will have much to offer. My other self, who I just released, I think she's poised to do something much more significant. What do you think she'll do? I have no clue. But she told you to live, right? Yes. By which I can only assume she meant, yo, live it up, girl. Like, go shopping or something. Or rocket down the highway in a convertible with cash flying out the back. That is not the sort of sentiment I can imagine coming from her under any circumstance. But yes, maybe something to the effect of encouraging me to enjoy my existence as communicated by a more typical, truly asocial member of my species. Really, what I took from it was she's the real one, with all the power and relevance now, and I am the spare. A civilian in a sense, like in a war. And the only use for civilians, from a militaristic mindset, are as those who live their lives in whatever completely irrelevant way they choose to. They are the collateral at stake, the ones for whom the war is theoretically fought, but whose lifestyles, choices, happiness, and such hold no concern whatsoever for those fighting on their behalf. This, I think, is the mindset of cherubs of her alignment. As protectors, it is the relationship they have with those they protect. And so, that is probably the relationship she believes she has with me. You make it sound like she's the legit Callie, and you are the afterthought. Like the one from the funky reality that didn't go right? Technically, her timeline was doomed by her predomination alone. Even so, yes, it does feel as though my reality was the oddity. Chirps were never supposed to grow up like me, exposed to other caring people and learning from them. It made me different and unfit to predominate. Yet, ironically, this was requisite for the timeline's success. And it was necessary for you all to begin your journey as well. So this seems like an example of what I was just saying actually. The story of the two Callies. Neither is really more important, and your timelines can't really be described as the good one or the bad one. There were good and bad things about both ways stuff went down, and different qualities to the people you became. Her life sounds like it was harsh and lonely in its own way, but it sort of paid off because she got to beat her brother, but then got arbitrarily punished for that outcome because it wasn't supposed to happen. And then finally you meet her and free her or something, so she presumably gets to go off and do something badass. Then there's you, who had probably an even more challenging upbringing getting so hassled by your bro. And he killed you, I guess, because the way the deck was shuffled, he had the edge this time. But the upshot was you got to have all these great friends who cared about you. And it helped you become the nice person you are, who means a lot to other people. And now, you get to live whatever kind of life you want and be completely free from all the crummy stuff you grew up with. Who cares if you aren't as strong as her, or don't have the wicked power she does, or some important mission to do? You both came from perfectly legitimate realities, and in my honest opinion, you are both equally valuable. And both of those realities seem to be tied together. She can't do her mysterious badass thing useless unless... Oh my god. She can't do her mysterious badass thing unless you make it all the way through your journey and free her. And your reality was the thing setting the stage for this huge multiversal vortex of problems which, after a kajillion fucking epochs, she was always meant to resolve in some way. And that doesn't mean your life was like a means to an end in a big cosmic sense. I think it's more like you are the end, or one of the ends. You and me, and everyone who made it and everyone who didn't. So that means you don't have to be able to do a lot of super special shit to validate your identity as the real version of yourself. The only validation you need is being who you are, because no one can be that person but you. Fala, Vimones, boa noite! Eu estou bem, e você, como vai? Parabéns para o Rica. Eu toquei todos os áudios aqui de festança pra ele quando ele chegou. Ok, eu não sei o que foi isso, mas enfim, tá na hora da água. Those are very inspiring. Oh my god. Those are very inspiring things to hear, Roxy. I hope you are right. But even so, I think I would still like to be useful. You can be. You can help me out. How? I know you aren't God tier or anything, or probably never did much to get in touch with your aspect. But maybe that doesn't matter. You're space, right? Yes, a muse of space. Sounds cool. It is cool, I think. Especially having seen what I could have been. No, but that potential has to be inside you somewhere. Actually, it's one reason why I wanted you to be with me here for a while. Aside from catch up a bit. What do you need me to do? Nothing really. Just be here with me while I try this. I don't know why, but I feel like your presence will help. And if nothing else, I just like having you here. Makes me feel better about trying to focus on this weird little chore. But you think my aspect is relevant? Maybe. I think space is related to this in some abstract way I can't put my finger on. I gotta make this egg, see? But it isn't really just an egg, it is this hella complicated egg in both its biological design and everything it represents for the future of an entire civilization. And I don't have the genetic or chemical or molecular blueprints for it or anything. I have to figure out using just thought, like ideas. Ideas that are really basic and live in this primordial sort of quasi-consciousness. So I have to build the idea of this egg in some way before I do anything. Which means trying to grasp its reality and what it represents. It's like a funky little construct of biological propagation, and I think that intersects with the nature of space, at least as we have come to understand it. The propagation of space is really just some profound cosmological feat of reproduction. That is, a literally biological process, right? Pretty much. So, to make this egg, as a rogue, avoid, what I'm really doing here is something kind of insane. You yourself told me once how I'd be able to do this crazy shit. I did. I'll be like probing nothingness for an idea. A pretty complicated idea in this case. Fala, Chispinho, como está você? And pulling that idea from unreality. So maybe if I'm right and a closer connection to the nature of space will help me locate that idea, almost like standing next to an antenna to boost the signal of that idea, then maybe my chances will be better. And hey, even if not, it's just nice to have a friend nearby while you try to do something hard. Gracinhas, amo elas, amo elas, amo elas, elas são tudo pra mim, amo elas. Eu as amo. What do you think they're talking about over there? I suspect Roxy wanted some time to catch up with an old friend. Ah, que bom que você tá bem. Eu também estou bem. I'm sure I would want the same if I hadn't just had an extensive reunion with her myself. Yeah, I guess we should just chill out and give them a moment. It isn't quite time to head to our battle stations yet, so we might as well try to relax until it is. I imagine it's a lot easier to relax when another version of yourself hasn't been hijacked by your dead cat. Yeah, it probably is. Maybe you should try not to let her bug you, Rose. She seems harmless enough. Plus, she's pretty funny. Sounds suspiciously like the advice of someone who's never had to deal with an outlandish alternate version of himself. Hey, I've bumped into other Johns a few times. Can't say the experience has been anything other than perfectly agreeable. You mean Johns that were essentially time duplicates in the course of your red conquest? Yes. Those don't count. Those were just regular Johns. What I'm saying is, you never had to deal with a John who was like half Harry Anderson and half Maple Hoof, the dear departed pony. Wow, that sounds great! Come to think of it, you're the only one of us who hasn't. I mean, of our original group of friends. Dave had Bird Dave, Jade had Dog Jade, and now I have... oh, Cat Rose. Why were you left off the hook? I don't know. Guess you guys are just luckier than me. Even putting aside the wildly unwelcome body horror slapstick routine she represents, and the machine gun salvo of opprobrious. Que porra é essa palavra? Remarks and conduct which my cat is apparently capable of releasing from my subconscious. I'm not sure where this leaves me. What do you mean? I felt like I understood my place. I'd gotten myself in order somewhat. My beverage decisions had gotten more reasonable. I was ready to bear down and play my part in finishing this. I could even handle a stray rose sprite brought to my doorstep by my sweet imbecile of a pet. Idiotic though that was, I was still clearly Rose Prime. But can I really claim that now? She's a sprite squared? How is that even a thing? Can someone tell me how that's even a thing? I can't tell you how it's even a thing. I think we are all just flabbergasted as you at this thinginess. What's next? Is there a sprite cubed? Or let's not even entertain this avenue of thought. The point is, she must be quite powerful, insightful, and in spite of the beast she rents headspace out to, intelligent as well. Doesn't she arguably have more claim to being real Rose than I do? I don't think being the real Rose necessarily means being the one who is more outgoing and chatty and powerful and stuff. I'm not sure it means anything. I think maybe we should try to drop the stuff about who is the real version of who anyway. It's weird, and it just hurts people's feelings. Sensatíssimo! Parabéns, John! I don't care if my feelings are hurt, though. I just want to know where I stand. I really don't think she's that threatening to you. Believe me, you still seem like the Rose I always knew, whereas she doesn't quite. It seems to me she's a lot more interested in having fun and zipping around like a silly lunatic than usurping you as the main Rose. Sure, that's what she wants you to think. Oh my god, she has a severely case of paranoia. But why do you care? I thought I heard the other Rose say, before she was a cat, that she liked the idea of being some sort of backup Rose. Do you not feel that way too? That was a different context. I probably would have felt the same way if I found myself in her exact situation. Jasper Rose changes everything though. Now I feel a certain responsibility, like I have to really step up. Step up? Yes, to make sure I stay regarded as the exemplary model. To provide assurance that the concept of Roseness itself doesn't degrade due to black market peddlers of substandard shit. Tá certo isso, né? Tá. Basically, I need to defend the integrity of the brand. Oh my god! What? Nothing. I just missed you so much. Ai, que gracinha o John, mano. My brand missed you too, John. Your brand has good taste in friends and kicks ass. Nerds. Hey, do you think Kanaya and Karkat How do you think Kanaya and Karkat are doing? Eu não sei porque eu tô comendo palavras quando eu leio. Ou, sei lá, eu não leio o final das palavras e daí eu leio em voz alta achando que é uma e quando vê a outra. Isso é TDAH? They're probably getting a stern earful of roiling monster patois right about now. Do you think they'll be successful? At what? At talking to a monster. I don't know. I think Karkat will successfully fail to understand the monster and possibly also successfully shout at the monster. Kanaya, I think, will probably successfully do something sensible in response to whatever the monster demands. So, you think they're going to pull it off them? I'm still not sure what it is. But, yes. Well, the idea was to release the frog, I think. You think so? That's what VRISKA said. VRISKA says a lot of things. That's the basic idea, yes, but monsters can be complicated. Regardless, I think the right person was summoned to handle it. You really trust Kanaya, don't you? Sure. Not to change the subject too hard, into something maybe you don't want to talk about because of your brand, but I think you make a nice couple. You do? Yes? I thought so last time I was hanging out with you both in the screwed up timeline, but they didn't say anything then. I think it's still true. I'm glad it didn't change when I retconned some things. I am too. Maybe that means it's a strong relationship? If it can survive. God. Whatever the hell happened. A hard 3-year reboot and then the sudden presence of VRISKA? When you put it that way, it really does sound like you were trying to fuck us up. Nerds! Terezi, shush! What? I have just been minding my own business and in no way whatsoever saying anything directed at a couple of silly nerds saying dorky things. No, you said nerds twice. You always say nerds when in earshot of other people who are just being friendly. Isn't it weird how you are making this observation and no one else is? What? No. Meaning, maybe I only said it when... Meaning, maybe I only say it when the pair of nerds in earshot happens to include you. Ugh. What was that look? What look? That look you just gave me. I didn't give you a look, dingus. Yes, you did. Don't look at me like that. Whatever look you think I gave you, it was in your imagination. It is possible. You may be flattering yourself, Egbert. Oh, whatever. Hey, what are you even still doing here? Weren't you going to go with Dave and get ready for battle? Yes, I'm just giving him and his bros some time to themselves first. I'm sure they could use it. And whatever the hell is going on between them, the last thing I want to do is involve myself. That sounds even more awkward than lingering around you goofy bunch of nerds being all cute and mushy with our human family and friendship stuff. Yeah, you sure do sound put off by it. All hanging on every word and such. It takes a will of iron, trust me. But yeah, I actually do agree. It does sound pretty awkward to be around Dave and his bro while they get to know each other, I guess. Yup. I'm not even sure how well they really even knew his adult bro, actually. Aside from obviously idolizing him in a way that was really transparent that he didn't. I wonder how different Dirk is from him, if at all. I wouldn't be the one to ask. What do you think, Rose? I don't think there's anyone who could answer that. I suspect literally no one in the history of anywhere has ever met both people. Until, as of now, Dave himself. I hope Dave's okay. Let's see how things are going back here. Ah, bebezinha, meu amor. Ah, minha outra bebezinha, meu amor. Ah, bebezinha. Transcendendo pra caralho. Olha só. Interessante. Ela conseguiu. Ai, meu Deus. Yeah! Hell yeah! She made it. She made it. She made it. She made it. Wow, 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 wow. She made it. She made it. She made it. She made it. Hell yeah, she did it. She did it. She did it. She made the egg. Yes. Okay. Oh my god. She's back. O efeito da aura dela bem photoshopesco agora que eu percebi. It's me again. Cat sounds. Ugh. Miss me, Rose? Do you know I love you? Weird thing for me to say and you to hear, probably. I inherited the adoration our cat had for you, which now strangely is directed with me with the exact same intensity at myself because of you! Oh my god. Funnily enough, this manifests itself in a particularly acute form of narcissism, which is something we were already sort of afflicted by, and so was our cat by the very nature of the sort of animal he was. The bottom line is, I'm pretty twisted up inside in all the most beautiful ways, and it's wonderful! It really isn't. As much as I enjoy getting a load of that gorgeous whiskers mug of yours, whiskerless, it's not actually why I dropped by. I'm here on a curt matter of business with Jane. Huh? We have to prepare for our healing duties, hammer out a strategy and such. Really sink our claws into the expensive upholstery of that problem. But first, I have somewhere to take you. What? Where? No. Olha, eu vou lhe mostrar. There is someone you really must meet before we all start skittering across the great laminated floor of combat. As the ghostly spiritual guide of whomever my whiz decide I should be serving any given moment, I can't allow another second to pass without introducing the two of you. Who? This way. You're out of my head now, this way. This way. Nossa senhora, tá com ela na parede, velho. Olha isso. Caralho! Franjinha dela, que linda. Falando em franja, se der tudo certo, sexta-feira eu terei minha franja de volta, hein? Olha só, passei um bom tempo sem franja, mas ela vai voltar. Aleluia, irmão. Glória. Eu saúdo a minha franja, com ela terei vida eterna. Uhul! Ah! Encontro de James. Ou quase. You can stay here with the others until this all blows over. With who, exactly? Jade! She's sleeping. Please keep an eye on her, okay? Yes, of course. I'd be happy to. Also, a man they call the mayor is here. Já deve estar tocando no chão. Não, calma. I don't know much about the dude myself, but apparently he's a hell of a guy. Give him my regards. I will. He. Huh. So, yeah. If we make it through this, I'll come back for you. And then we figure out what happens next. I can't wait. Hope you're not sick of hearing it yet. But I'm still so psyched you're with us. Of course I'm not sick of it. It is just... Collie, in times such as these, you know, words have trouble cutting in. Come here. Aww. Keep me in your thoughts, okay? In the luckiest and magicest way you know how. I will, Roxy. Now, if you will excuse me, I got a delivery to make. Okay, that was cute as fuck. Oh my god, awkwardness. Not again. Maybe we should go over this again. Because, honestly, I'm still not sure I get it. What? Who are we actually fighting again? Jack Noir? Yeah, well, one version of Noir. There's a shitload of them, though. Which one is this? His. Yours. Ours. Yeah, the one from your session. But our Jack spent months in prison. Well, I guess he broke out. He's kind of like a huge fucking deal now. When did this happen? I have no idea. I wasn't here. I guess neither was I. He's got Lord English powers, though. He's apparently like just wretched fucking news. Damn. He's going to be hard to beat, even armed with the ultimate weapon, some swords. Sounds like some shit is going down. Let's not downplay our sword gambit though. I have yet to encounter a problem where a sword didn't factor into the solution, at least in some way. I bet. Bear in mind, I haven't actually solved many problems over the course of my life. But the ones I have, man, swords proved hells of instrumental. What do you mean you didn't solve many problems? Didn't you like program robots and stuff? I guess I meant real problems involving people. Oh, those. So Jack has Lord English powers. Yep. Does that have anything to do with Jake? Not according to my current understanding of a mostly nonsensical body of information. Eu me pergunto se é o filtro da minha tela. Não, ele ainda não tá colocado. Então a minha tela tá assim normalmente. Por que estranho, né? Deixa eu ver uma coisa. Ah, não, aqui também. O coração no peito ali do pijama, do Dirk, ele tá vermelho, né? Ele não tá rosa que nem o meu bonequinho aqui do lado. Engraçado isso. Eu não lembrava que não era rosa. Pelo menos nesse painel. Does that have anything to do with Jake? Ah, tá, eu já tinha lido isso. What does it actually mean, then? Not sure. Mostly that he's really hard to kill, I think. Okay. Well, that's decent intel, at least. He might be vulnerable to Welsh things too. Don't quote me on that, because it will make me sound like an idiot. Alright. Yeah, they are silent again. Do you know when he arrives? I already said I don't know. Right. Guesstimate? Not soon enough is my best guess. And I guess also my opinion. Oh. Yep. They are bad at this. Oh God. Is everything alright? Sure. It just seems like maybe you aren't that into at least... No, peraí, eu li errado. Maybe you aren't that into this. Or at least not as much as I was. Whenever I imagined the possibility of us meeting, were you? Yeah? I guess I'm not doing a very good job of showing it now. I think that's probably just what I'm like though. You don't say. I mean, when it comes to people in general. But probably especially people who are important part of my life. So, you think I'm an important part of your life? Yes. You don't actually know me though. Not this me. And I'm pretty sure you didn't know the other guy either. That's true. What is it about me that's important then? I'm not sure how to answer. Why? Because I'm getting the sense that you might disapprove of whatever I might say. Maybe you'll think it's weird that I idolized some version of you that I never knew. Idolized? See? It seems like you think it's weird. Huh. Yeah. I shouldn't have said anything. I don't know if it's weird. I just can't process it. Why? Because maybe not anything to do with you per se, but how I view my bro. And I've gotta say, meeting you, it's not rocking my world here, or upending any paradigms, or whatever. Listening to you and looking at you, it really just reminds me of him. I know you're different and all, and also like a kid, I guess, but you don't feel that different. And hearing anything like that, like about idolization, or like you were actually looking forward to this in any sincere way, is kind of fucking jarring. Huh. So, like, things between you and me, from your perspective, are we, like, not cool? Eu lembrei que acontece uma coisa. Aí, o coração dele não tá mais vermelho, tá rosa. Já tava assim antes? Eu tô doida? Ah lá, tava vermelho aqui. Aqui já não tá. Que bosta é essa, meu irmão? Gente, só agora que eu percebi isso. Eu tô doida. Eu não tô doida. Isso é bom. Well, I guess. I didn't fucking like you that much, okay? Oh. Why not? Honestly, I don't know if I want to get into it. Ok. E os trovões lá. Okay, actually, maybe I will get into it. O David, tipo eu. I don't know why my friends got to have adults around who cared about them. They complained bitterly about stuff, so I guess I convinced myself they were all in the same boat as me. But that's not how it was. Their complaints were trumped up by nonsense, and I bought it cause, I don't know, I didn't have any frame of reference. But his dad and her mom, no matter what they said, it was so obvious they cared about them deeply. Even Jade's weird fucking grandpa, who died when she was young, obviously would have done anything for her. Why did I get such a raw cut of the asshole deck? Why did it make me so long to figure that out? And like, he's dead now, so that's that. So all that's left to do is look back and try to put the pieces together of my first 13 years, and all I can think is, what the fuck was that? I don't come away with the impression I used to try convincing myself of that she was like mysterious or stern or aloof. The only feeling left is this insane impression that I was raised by somebody who fucking hated me. And the whole act of even raising a child was some totally fucked up game to him. Like, parenthood was one of the highest tiers of irony in his solemn bullshit bro ninja code. So he went through those motions and did whatever he thought was funny or badass. But under that weird stylistic and totally sociopathic approach to parenting, I can't even imagine there was any emotion toward me other than some sort of loathing. What did he do? I don't want to get off the laundry list, but for reference, laundry wasn't one of those things. That was just one of the many little domestic things I just had to sort of figure out. Sort of like I eventually had to learn what the real purpose of a refrigerator was from movies. Wait, what? I don't know, there's too much to even get into. I don't remember the atmosphere ever not being nerve-wracking. All having to sneak around and my shitty childhood spider senses are tingling just thinking about it. It was training, you know? But you know what it really was? It was some vicious shit that was bad and sucked, and I hated it. It didn't make me stronger. It did the opposite. It made me never want to fight. It made me never want to see blood or be near danger or hear metal sounds. It made me hate the idea of being a hero, 'cause he was a hero and he ruined the idea of heroism. And I don't even want to be fighting this shitty version of Jack, but hey, nobody else has secret Welsh powers, so I guess I have to. What gets me is how long it took me to pull all this together, to stop seeing it as some kind of roughhousey and eccentric life I had but was otherwise normal. It took years to deconstruct it all and put it back together to understand how fucking mad I should be. And in particular, how stone cold deeply uncared for I was my whole life. Like being merely monitored by a violent robot. I only started getting it after spending a lot of time in person with a bunch of people who actually did care about me. And I could start feeling like actually somewhat human for the first time, instead of some sort of runty afterthought to a household cabal of smutty puppets. Puppets? The fucking puppets! I know how it sounds, but I am not joking, and there's no shred of doubt in my mind that he loved all those puppets more than me. Honestly, it is very possible that he was just insane, and that's that. I guess it didn't help either that we lived with what we have come to understand may theoretically be the most evil doll to exist in any universe ever. In fact, it's my tenuous understanding that he came down to Earth with that thing and actually grew up with it. Maybe spending 30-some years being inseparable from that hell puppet had some effect on him. Maybe if it hadn't been casting a pall over our apartment 24/7 since he took me in, grinning, glaring, laughing in my sleep, maybe our lives wouldn't have been quite so. Maybe we would have. What? You okay there? Yeah. That doll. That was Call, right? Yeah. Right. My version is empty, apparently. Whatever that means. Huh. How do you know that? A source? One supposedly knowledgeable in jujus. I never quite knew what that meant, though. Well, whatever his was, empty is never how I would have described it. Man, I don't know if I figured something out here, explained something, or if I'm just driving myself crazy with this talk and nothing even needs explaining. It doesn't change my past or how I feel about him. He was still pretty much awful, no matter what's the reason. And I'm sure that's the only feeling I'll ever have about him. So, who cares why it was like that? Yeah. That all sounds really bad. I don't know what to say though. Maybe I shouldn't say anything, since I just remind you so much of him for obvious reasons. I don't want to make you feel worse or make it sound like I'm offering a defense for him or me, because I don't have one for either of us. Come on, man. You didn't do anything. This was just some douchebag with your exact DNA who happened to grow up to be my bro. You had a completely different life full of different choices and actions and stuff. And even if you were gonna turn out like him, you've barely cleared the halfway mark on actually chronologically getting there. In some way, ranting about all this is probably just uncool of me because you aren't him. You're not responsible for any of this shit, but I'm sorta implicitly tacking it onto you anyway. So, sorry about that. I'm not sure it's true though. At least, I don't feel that way. What way? That I'm not him. The fact is, I am. It's something I've come to understand about myself. All splinters of me are basically me, no matter how much I want to resist that truth, or pretend they aren't reflecting my own qualities back at me. I bear a certain responsibility for all of them. Splinters? Yeah, I guess the concept isn't that unique to me. We've all got other versions of ourselves running around here and there, throughout the various compartments of this messed up cosmos. Right. I just happened to be particularly connected to mine. I felt haunted by them. And what that really means is I'm perpetually haunted by my own bad qualities. So when I hear about stuff I did in another reality, I'm not sure what my adult self might have ever tried to do to atone for that stuff, if anything. Pretty much dick squat. Yeah, but in any case, I'm sure I was completely in the wrong, and I'm sorry I messed up your life. Thanks, but it still feels a little odd accepting an apology from somebody who I just met, and technically had nothing to do with my life. Even if you do feel guilty, splinter ways, or whatever, it is just a messed up situation, and I guess I had to vent. And there was never anyone I wanted to say all that to. And the only thing that was gonna drag it out of me, I guess, was like a teen stand-in phantom of my dad bro. Just some perfectly innocent dude having to take the brunt of this shit. I'm not particularly innocent though. I've messed a lot of things up with my friends. Honestly, that's why I wasn't that bent on sticking around when I showed up. And pretty much jumped at the offer of flying here to get ready for some yet-to-be-explained battle. Battles are easy. Just you, a sword, some bad guys. It's a lot simpler than having to answer for things you did. For the most part, I feel pretty bad about the role I played in my friends' lives, especially Jake. What happened there? I don't even know. An unmitigated disaster for which I'm entirely to blame. It's not any one thing. I think I was just a completely toxic element in his life from day one. I don't know what he's doing now. I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to avoid me as much as possible. I'm sure that's for the best. I think I need to stay out of his business for a good while, so I don't risk poisoning another innocent kid's life, like I did with you, apparently. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a little different because relations between peers is a whole other thing. It's tricky shit, and you're both figuring stuff out on a relatively equal footing, and you're both at the same point in your lives. It's not like when one person is older and supposed to be a lot more... Never mind, this is a fucked up thing to think about. But the bottom line is, yeah, laying low while you sort out your stuff can't hurt. Right. The thing with my adult self's ways, the sad thing is, I can really see it. How someone like me can go unchecked in life and turn out to become a much worse person than I already am. I guess I'm just relieved I still have some time to make sure that doesn't happen. You don't actually seem like a bad person to me though. No? Nah. Why not? We did just meet after all. Because I don't know if truly bad people wrestle so much with whether they're good or bad. I think if I ever sensed my bro struggle at all with what he was doing or who he was, or showed any sort of doubt, that might have changed everything. But there was never a crack in it, or the slightest hint of introspection behind the aggressive, cool dude facade. If there was, I sure never noticed. I mean, personally, I think about it all the time now, what it actually means to be good or bad, or if not something that's starkly moral. At least, just trying to examine the difference between being decent and being a douche. Maybe it's because of him I worry about that now. But for me, I think that internal struggle is kind of mild. For him, or you, I mean, it sounds like some pretty dark shit. Like grappling with becoming evil versus simply trying not to. Yeah, that's not too far off. But the point is, even just talking to you a little bit, it's obvious you've been fighting with that, which means that you care enough to put in some effort. I think that counts for something. Maybe. Not sure if I'm ready to accept a pat on the back for recognizing I have some problems and worrying about whether they'll destroy me and fuck up the people I care about. That might be setting the bar kind of low. Well, when it comes to the subject of him, the bar is already pretty low, dude. Fazer musical de HOMESTUCK seria muito bom, né? Fala, Chun-san, como vai tu? Beber uma aguinha aqui. Eu acho que eu vou desligar a luz do quarto e ficar só com a luz do monitor, porque tá me dando dor de cabeça. Não sei se é isso, mas deve ser. Pronto. Ah, o Rika, ele tá sempre por aí, né? Feliz aniversário, Rika. The weird thing, honestly, is that it's actually kind of refreshing to hear a sincerely leveled critique of all my negative qualities coming from another person invested in a relationship with me, rather than from a fucked up iteration of myself as some bizarre trollish form of self-abuse. The only thing I've ever been exposed to are either various forms of self-loathing, either from me or my autoresponder, or attitudes completely oblivious to my real issues. Chunzeira da Bahia. As expressed through my friends. My friends always seem to cut me so much slack, or were just never aware of the kind of person I really was. Well, Jake probably is, by now at least. But he's also the sort of guy who's just as likely to blame himself for stuff I did, as he is to blame me. Jane and Roxy, though, never seemed to see anything wrong with me. If anything, just the contrary. Roxy in particular had a certain fixation. She meant well, but was so enamored of me and seemingly everything I did, which I think was the last thing I needed, to be idolized in some form by other people I respected. I had enough of that feeling coming from within, particularly when I was younger. And since then, I've been plagued by the insane ego of my youth in the form of an artificial intelligence I designed, which essentially trapped that state of mind in a sort of horrid, suspended animation. Until recent developments, of course. So, was that stuff true? When you said you idolized the other version of me? Yeah. And not just some bullshit like how I used to say the same thing about my bro when I didn't know any better? It's definitely not like that. I never lived with him or met him, so couldn't have anything like the contentious relationship you had with my older self. He was a historical figure from centuries ago. There was a lot to admire and think about fondly. Especially since I was alone and never had any direct contact with another person or any concept of civilization. So even though I'm sure I romanticized what his life was like and the early 21st century in general, it was nice to think about you. I passed a lot of time that way. You say there was a lot to admire. Like what? Well, he was pretty famous, made some successful movies, at least under a somewhat expensive definition of success, and an even more expensive definition of movie. His work accumulated a lot of subversive political influence, which got him in trouble later. He made like a million bullshit statues of liberty, scummed them up with JPEG artifacts, and littered them all over the planet. Holy shit. He was also a pretty badass swordsman and an active member of the resistance movement. He slaughtered the clown presidents on the roof of the White House and flew away on a shitty skateboard. Then, it seems he gave the Better Witch a pretty good run for her money. It wasn't enough, but at least he went down fighting. That, yeah, I'm gonna need to hear more details on this sometime, sure. But, as you can tell, clearly there was a lot to look up to. I thought about the examples you set constantly. The creative ideals, the advanced theories on irony and humor, the tales of courage and martial prowess. Really, I modeled everything about myself after you, or at least everything good that I was trying to become. And I probably spent an embarrassing amount of time imagining what it would be like to live during his time, and to be able to have something resembling a sibling relationship, or be in some sort of master apprentice situation. When I finally learned you existed, and started to understand who he really was in relation to me, that put a lot into context. 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 Meu Deus, difícil falar isso. I realized he was a version of you who got a chance to live up to his full potential. And when I understood there was a young version of you, in a situation sorta like mine, whose time on Earth got cut short when you were thrown into all this, I was at least happy to think there was some reality where you got the chance to do everything you wanted to do, be successful, and fight for all the right things, even if ultimately it didn't lead to a great outcome for humanity. You had an opportunity to live a full life and show what you were made of. While I guess I had the same opportunity on your world, somewhat less fortunately. Yeah, but then for all my bitching, I guess I still never grasped your full reality. Just like you probably didn't grasp mine, but just reading into the mindset of a historical figure as best you could. What if I wasn't as heroic as it seemed? What if adult me was kinda douchey too, in a way you couldn't observe? Perhaps. But beyond a certain point, I think accomplishments speak for themselves. I don't know if you can just completely shred every person who ever did great things because they had some flaws. All I can say is, it was important to me to see him the way I did. As a good person who inspired me and set the standard for what I wanted to be. It kept me going. That said, I'm also glad there's this version of you who got to go through all the things you've been through. Like, yeah, you didn't get to be the cool celebrity who cuts down juggalo on badly defaced government property, and the idea of a normal life was rudely taken from you, and it's something you'll never get to experience. But this is so much more challenging and uncertain. You get to apply all that potential you showed in one reality to do something much bigger and more existentially critical. Whatever strength you showed in trying to save a dying planet, the fact is, I think we need that more here. And the trials inherent in being a part of something like this, I think they bring more out of you than a relatively pedestrian life on Earth would. Make you face more things about yourself. At least, that's been true for me. But it sounds like it's been true for you too. It sounds to me like the experiences you've had changed you a lot for the better. You mentioned the experience with him that were designed to make you stronger have actually made you weaker, but really, I doubt that's true. I bet you've become stronger than you realize, not because of anything he did, but because of what you've done, and the ways you've changed yourself through your own effort. I hope it doesn't come off as overly sentimental garbage, but it seems to me like you turned out to be a really good dude. Like, really, a better sort of dude I ever imagined talking to when I pictured meeting the legendary guy I idolized. I pictured him as probably being too cool to be the type of guy you are. But you know what? Fuck being too cool for that. You don't think I'm cool? Nah. I mean, in the right way? Yes, I think you are. But in the way that doesn't mean anything and doesn't matter? Not particularly. Anyway, that's all my stuff with respect to your other self. Again, there's a lot more I could say about him. Maybe stuff you should know, or maybe it's all irrelevant to the path you're on now. Regardless, I'd be more than willing to answer any questions you have about him. Or anything, really. Feel free to ask me whatever, okay? Yeah, I'll have to think. Hey. Sorry about this. What? For what I'm doing now. This bullshit right here. Oh. What? It's really fucked up of me, what I'm presently doing. So, sorry about that. Oh, yeah, man. This is some fucked up shit, alright? I know. But it's cool. Don't worry about it. So fucked up. Sorry. Oh, desculpa. Sorry. Eu não tô chorando, vocês que estão chorando. Ai, que bosta. Tá, peraí que eu preciso limpar o olho. Ai, essa parte acaba comigo, mano. Mas ela é muito boa, né? Faz valer a pena. Ai, eu amo essa história. Enfim. Ai, finalmente. Hey! Yes? Hey! Hey. Hey! Minha voz até falhou. You said another hey. Are you going to say hey again by any chance? Hey! I knew it. Another hey. Kanaya, guess what? My first guess would be more hey. But if the thing to guess is the reason you are saying hey at me several times, I confess to being stumped. I got something for you. You do? What? That's the thing you got to be guessing. Is it the thing behind your back? Yep, but you gotta be more specific. Is it a little piece of paper that says hi on it? No, but that would be so funny. You're pretty funny. Damn, now I want to go away and start this whole shit over so I can do that punchline instead. Maybe we should do several rehearsals first just to make sure the final performance is as funny as possible. Yes, but no. What I have for you, ta-da, is this. Teve muitos gasps nessa live de hoje, né? Is it real? Yeah, I mean, as real as I could make it, which I think means as real as the thing that it is and was always supposed to be when its idea is expressed as purely as possible through physical matter. Wow. What? It's a real alien egg! Bottom line, it took a lot of work and I guess mighty soul searching, but I finally made it. Just for you. For me. Yep. Hey, I know I don't know you too well. We just met. But really, it was always gonna be for you. This egg is stinking useless without someone who's qualified to care for it. And that's you. Please look after that little guy. I have developed some oddly motherly feelings for the spiky fucker myself. It was like this whole quasi-intellect-emotional saga or something for me to figure out how to make this freaking egg. It's a matriarch. Yeah, that. I don't believe this. How is it possible? I still don't know how you did this. Oh, don't worry about it. It's just powers. Magic noises. Voila! Insta orb. Just add the subtraction of its non-existence. Ela tá perplexa. Thank you. No problem. I didn't think it would be this easy. I mean, not that it was easy for you by the sound of it. What I meant is, I thought it was going to involve an arduous and lengthy process for myself to undertake in order to figure out how it was even possible to reconstruct the orb, let alone actually do it. Nah. Nope. So instead of all that, it's just handed to me like a nice present. Yes? I don't know what to say. This changes so much about everything I thought I had to do. Does it? The way I see it is, you shouldn't have needed to worry about making the thing. I think it will be challenging enough, like hatching it and tending to all the stuff that comes next. Isn't that basically being responsible for the preservation of an entire race of people? Like, not even a simple kind of people that all go about having their own babies by themselves and such. You have to set up and deal with this huge creature that does it all herself, right? Yes, that's how it works. And yes, that will be. Probably very challenging. Yeah, so just focus on that. I'm sure you'll have help if you need it. I mean, after all, this shit is over. It's over, obviously. Oh meu Deus, eu li isso tudo errado. I mean, after all this shit is over, obviously. Hey, speaking of which, how did it go here? Did you do the thing? Yes, I think we did the thing. Our frog should be good to go. We? Oh yeah, Karkit came too, didn't he? Where did he go? Oh, he's still in the cave. Meditating. Meditando, né? Depois que você fez na cabeça dele. Meditating, huh? Yes. It was a very spiritually uplifting encounter with the denizen. It really, blitzed our chakras. He needs some time to clear his head. Okay. So, you are Rose's girlfriend, right? I don't know. Is that what humans call a maid spirit when the maid spirit is a girl? I don't know. Is a maid spirit the thing trolls call each other when they are girlfriends or boyfriends with each other? Yes. Aha! Then, the answer is yes? Yes. LMAO. Okay, it was kind of obvious. I was just making sure. Anyway, let's go. Did you meet on your fancy meteor vessel? In person, we met there, yes. Originally, we first spoke while she was still in her session. I assisted somewhat, but I think I bugged her mostly. That seems like a lifetime ago now. So I guess you must have gotten to know each other a lot better during the trip. Yes, we had. A lot of free time. I bet. Man, 3 years, was it? That's crazy. For a whole bunch of people who only just met, including humans and aliens. Or, I mean, trolls. Whoops, sorry if that's rude. We call each other aliens all the time. But when you all immediately have to hunker down together for 3 years, that is very much what happened and what we had to do. It sounds fun. Kinda wish I could have been there. I guess I had my own less long stint with people in my session. Only like half a year though. Which was cool in its own way, but it wasn't nearly as social as your scene sounded. It was pretty social, yes, but we also had little groups who generally convent with each other more often than the entire ensemble crowded together for a singular noisy affair. Such events were pretty rare, so maybe not as social as you are picturing. In fact, it was quite a subdued situation compared to the crowd I was formerly accustomed to congregating with. There were 12 of us back then. Yeah, wow! I remember hearing about that from a friend who never even existed from this frame of reference. I guess that's another weird thing about my little sojourn to get to this point. It is all made of memories now that didn't even happen for other people. That does sound like a lonely predicament in its own particular way. A sort of sacrifice you've had to make, yes? Yeah, sacrifice abounds, it would seem. I don't know of anyone presently alive who hasn't had to trade something very important to them in exchange for continuing to be a material seeker in this endeavor. You were forced to trade something too, but in return, you've been able to do something. Something so wonderful that I guess I'm judging your accomplishment from an especially personal vantage. But no matter what else you have been through, I believe you can say you've done something as important as anyone could ever hope to do. Oh, yes, I hope so. I really hope it all works out and you make a super successful troll world too. Yeah, I want it to be a good place. Not so much like where I'm from. It all sounds really daunting, actually. Not even just the propagation of my kind, but managing to do it responsibly. Just causing millions of beings to exist for the sake of doing so, and dismissing the responsibility for what sort of people they become. That isn't good enough for me. I think Echidna was right. I'll need him. Who? Oh, nobody. Let's say it was a figure of speech. I'll need everyone. Whoever is good and wishes to have a hand in the way our world is shaped. Count me in. I will. But as one of the immediate point in time, I don't know what to do anymore. Huh? Before you came, I was on my way to join you and Rose and John, feeling quite sure I was about to get ready to fight. But then you gave me this, and now I am unsure of everything to which I just imminently committed myself. How so? I want to help us win, but I also have a lot of responsibility now, in a way that is much more tangible and also spiky and round and sharp than just a few minutes ago. And I feel I have to consider risk to myself is now also the same as risk to the future of my people. Does that make sense? Oh, I see. Yeah. It is like, say, a mother wolf being all ready to stand up to some other asshole of nature, like a nasty bear. And she's ready to fight and all, but also she's got to think about what happens to her pups if she gets hurt, yeah? Something like that. Except I'd relate more to an analogy that didn't involve weird alien creatures. Oh, sure. Just imagine instead of a wolf, it's like a mother, help me out here, muscle beast. A beautiful mother muscle beast. And instead of a bear, it's a meteoroid. Let's say good enough. Damn straight. Be fucking fight of the year, be right there. But yes, that concern is completely understandable. You don't gotta fight if you don't want, but I'm sure we could really use the help. Would I actually be of much use? I think so. I look at it this way. None of this next-gen troll stuff is even going to matter if we don't win this fight. So, we have to prioritize beating all these goddamn villains, especially the witch. Any extra edge is going to help. And though I admit I don't know much about you, I am feeling pretty confident in my assessment that you are probably some sort of sick deadly bitch. Who told you my secret? I knew it. In fact, I would bet that you could use your concern for all your future space pups to be way extra deadlier in this fray. Maybe you'd make the whole difference? The point is, we need you now just as much as anyone in the future will. And we are all risking stuff and all in this together, and if you're with me and Rose and John, don't worry, we ain't gonna let anything happen to you. I promise. Dang. Dang? That was really motivational, and I feel very inspired now. For real! Yes. A little corny, but definitely genuine and moving. And now I'm suddenly psyched again to go dunk a narcissistic fish woman into a sea dumpster. Fuck yeah! Not to project myself as someone fickle or lightly swayed on big decisions. Maybe it was just a roughly 30-second spell of cold feet and I just snapped out of it. I don't know. But you really do seem to have a way with motivational words. You must be a natural leader. I think our group was lucky to have you. Me? Nah, I'm not naturally good at all. I mostly just yelled at my friends because they were such a gaggle of frustrating bozos. I guess I'm just feeling way inspired by the fact everyone here is here together and we were all about to try que susto da porra and do something huge and important. I've also watched John in action a bit and he's very good at that stuff. He's actually so good at being inspiring. He's inspired me to try and be more inspiring. That sounds dumb as hell, but it's true as shit. I also love how he's got no idea how good he is at literally stuff. It is so inspirationally freaking adorable. Shall we go then? We hella show. Hella show, but it's hella show, né? Oh my god! This doesn't stop! Oh, fuck me. No, please don't. It keeps happening! I'll be taking this, if you don't mind. Not that I care, if you mind. For that matter, not that there's any chance you could possibly mind what anyone does with this deadly secret weapon, since you've made it perfectly clear what sort of person you want to be. Which is to say, someone who's dedicated her entire existence to being utterly useless. Wait, which version of me are you? Are you alive? Be quiet, I'm talking. Look at you. Just look at you. How completely pathetic. What's your problem? My problem is you make me fucking sick. Did you know that? That it was possible for you to go so far down whatever toilet you decided to jump into however long ago that you could literally make your own stomach turn? I mean, my god. What are you talking about? Is it my new clothes and tattoo and stuff? Look, I remember feeling that way too, all stuck up about certain... It's not your new look. I mean, not that it's the slightest bit flattering. In fact, I think it's perfect for you. I couldn't possibly imagine a styly more impeccably suited to what a loser you've become. Loser? Hey, come on now, Yes, loser! You are a loser! I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that is what you are now. I feel like I'm shouting. I'm not gonna stop. Are you really so far removed from reality that you can't see it? Did this transformation happen so gradually that you just didn't notice? I find it hard to believe, and frankly more than a little disturbing, that some version of me could let this happen to herself without being at least somewhat aware what a dreadful decline of personal integrity was taking place. I'm not a loser though. I like who I've become. I actually feel happy and good about my life for the first time in maybe forever? Like actually good about my life in a way that feels real instead of forced. Don't you realize that's what it was like for us? You don't have a life. You're dead, remember? I'm the one with the life. And I fully intend to use it in a relevant and constructive way to help bring an end to all the horrible shit that's been going on for way too long. Remember when you used to care about that sort of thing? No, obviously not. All you care about now is bullshit hipstery fashion trends, feeling happy, and whatever the fuck is you're doing here. Frolicking with some horses? In an ugly field or some shit? Yeah, oh my god, some shit. Just absolutely disgraceful. How could I have become so selfish? You do know this is selfish, right? This isn't having some fucking epiphany or like growing as a person or whatever self-serving spin you might be putting on what's happening here. It's just plain narcissism, the worst kind you're capable of. A total renunciation of any responsibility for contributing to the greater good. And it makes me fucking sick. No, that's not what it's like. You don't understand. You haven't, like, been through... Been through what? I've been through plenty. Don't get patronizing with me. How did you die again? Weren't you being stubborn and insisting on going off to fight Jack, even though that was obviously an ill-conceived plan that was going to get everyone killed? There it is again, making it all about you, even when trying to be heroic. You let that need blind you, and you did something really stupid, basically leaving no other option but for you to get killed. So, since you started your journey as a ghost with what little feat of self-absorption, is it any surprise that after however many pseudo-sweeps floundering around as a lost soul, this is where you end up? A shamelessly self-indulgent punk as nobody. Wait, are you saying you didn't try to go fight Jack? What happened? How are you the version that's still alive? I don't... Different shit happened. And from that point on, I started making better choices, unlike you. Contrary to your lazy, fakey, happy shit, I've actually grown as a person. What do you think of that, you frivolous, dithering bitch? Honestly, I can barely even stand to look at you. I should really get out of here and spare myself the nausea. Yet, I keep standing here wasting my time dishing out this well-deserved smackdown. Maybe I'm paralyzed by disgust. Why are you being so mean to me? Mean? I'm just telling it like it is, sister. The truth is often harsh. That's something you used to understand. But now, you appear to be the physical embodiment of everything I detest. God, I just can't get over your shitty makeover. Ugh. Hey, did you gain weight too? What? No, I didn't. I'm not. Yes, you did. I'm not blind, you know. I'm not fat. Sure, tell yourself whatever you want. Whatever lets you be at peace with your new life. Why are you saying all this stuff to me? What did I ever do to you? I don't understand. Holy shit. This is actually getting to you, isn't it? Unbelievable. Well, that tears it. You really are beyond any sort of redemption. Fucking incredible. Whatever happened to having a thick skin? Letting stuff roll off your back? Not letting shit get to you, 'cause you always knew you were better than the ones slinging it. I guess this is what you call happiness now? Letting a few tiny little barbs shatter your self-esteem? You aren't happy. You're a hilarious train wreck combined with a sad punchline. And I'm ashamed to share an identity. I'm ashamed to share an identity with you. Stop it! Oh, don't worry, Sir Cat. I'm done here. I'm off to go do something useful, like winners do. Something you wouldn't know anything about anymore. Just leave me alone. How could I have been so awful? Okay, this is just getting embarrassing. Time to show off. Though, truth be told, I should probably delay killing Lord English a little longer, just so he can put you out of your misery. Just go away. I hate you. Your wish is my command, loser. Time to go get some awesome shit done and grab the reins on a relevant, proactive existence. Shit, I'm feeling more adventurous and worthwhile as a person just thinking about it. Anyone who feels the same way is more than welcome to join me. Say, how about you, punky-looking Patience? Does that sound like it might be the cut for a job? Don't talk to her! She doesn't want anything to do with a piece of shit like you, and neither do I. Take your stupid treasure and your smug garbage out about relevance and get the fuck out of here. Come on, Mina, let's ditch this evil hag and go find something else to do. Well, that's cringe. Mina? What's wrong? Come on. Yeah, VRISKA, listen. What? Oh fuck. Know how to say this. What is it? I think I might go actually. With VRISKA, I mean. That one. No, please, Mina. You can't. I don't know if this whole thing is... Oh, fuck. Mina, no. I'm not like agreeing with her on a lot of that stuff. I'm bored. But I thought you liked... I did. I mean, I do. I'm just sick of sitting around, not being a part of anything. I want to see some action, you know? Wanna go kill a bad guy. Okay, yeah, I get that. Hey, me too, look, see? I do too. Forget what I said, we can go fight him together. Just not with her, okay? I couldn't handle that. It can't just be you and me. Yeah, see, I don't know about that. The thing is, I think what I'm saying here is, as great as it's been, like, really great, I think this has gotta be it. It? Oh. No. Why? Mina, please, don't do this. You heard the lady. She's made up her mind. Stay out of this. Mina, you have to stay. I don't know what I would do if you're gone. I don't have anyone else here. I'll be all alone in this fucked up place. I never told you this, but it's terrifying here. It's terrifying being dead and having to live through memories forever and dealing with the fact that nothing really means anything. It's infinite and dark, and it's all being ripped apart. And you're the only one who ever made me feel good about being here. You're the only one who made me feel good about being anywhere. Please don't. Mina. VRISKA, damn. Why is this shit so hard? Not even lying, this is like the... Not even lying. This is like the hardest shit I ever did. I can't even fully explain. It's just how I think it's got to be. But it doesn't. You don't have to do this. Yeah, I think on that point, you just gotta have to algae to disalgae. I cannot believe you're doing the fish pun thing while you're breaking up with me. Sorry, Cirque. 'Tis the way of my peeps. Here's the thing. I don't think any of that shade just thrown at you was true. I like you a lot and all, but like, she has a point in one thing, which is, you changed a lot. Not better, or worse, or anything. I ain't qualified to make that call. Just different from the way you were when we met. Happier, I guess? I don't know, man. If you say so, then yeah. What I see though is somebody who gradually turned like vulnerable as shell. And that is scary to me because of the way I am. I don't think I'm really the sort of person to be trusted with those kinds of feelings. See, the problem is, you don't actually know me very well. Nobody does. And the main thing about me is that you gotta account for, or I guess I gotta account for, on behalf of the feelings of people I don't wanna see get hurt. Is how do I say this? What you need to know is like bad. No, Mina, wait. I don't care if you're bad. I mean, I don't even think that's true. But I don't care if it is. Please don't do this. Don't go. At least not right away. Can't you just stay a little longer so we can talk about this? Sorry, VRISKA. I'm really sorry. Time to say goodbye, Mina. I just did. Let's just get out of here, okay? You got it. You've made the right choice, Patience. Now let's go round up that army. Choose your characters. Let's try this choice thing again. One more time. One more time. This time only with 2 choices. Nice and easy. Hey, works like a charm. 2 sweet simple choices for 2 sweet simple kids. There you go. One last glutinous chomp at the free will pie before you all say goodbye. Don't say this website never did anything for you. Don't you dare! Joke's on you, you are not a website anymore. Okay, you are, but not at this moment. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. I should stop. This way, da 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 da. This way, ba 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 ba. This way, da 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 da. This way, this way, da. Eu fiquei pirada agora, né? Enfim. Acho que aqui é um bom momento pra parar por hoje, gente. Meu objetivo era ler todos os diálogos daquela tela de seleção falsa. E eu ainda li um extra da mina com a VRISKA. Porque essa parte é difícil, quebra meu coração, então eu decidi passar dela logo. Mas o que vem a seguir pra essa VRISKA que tava chorando é uma coisa legal. É uma das coisas que eu mais gosto nessa história. Só que eu acho que isso vai ficar para a próxima live, tenho quase certeza. Para efeitos de curiosidade, nós estamos na página 7804. Nós lemos pra caralho hoje. Então eu vejo vocês na próxima semana, que vai cair no dia 13. E não vai ser numa sexta, vai ser numa quarta, logicamente. Se vocês quiserem, estiverem afim, sábado à noite, vamos ter a terceira Watch Party de Doctor Who lá no Toca das Lives, o nosso Discord. E vai ser de noite, como eu acabei de falar. Eu tava fazendo no domingo, só que dessa vez eu não vou aguentar esperar, então vai ser no sábado mesmo. O episódio vai ficar livre, disponível na Disney Plus a partir das 3h30 da tarde, eu acho. E lá pelas 7h30 da noite a gente assiste lá no Discord. Porque sim, porque é o terceiro especial de 60 anos de Doctor Who. Então, se vocês quiserem me fazer companhia, ou assistir Doctor Who porque vocês gostam de Doctor Who, ou whatever, estarei lá de noite no sábado. E é nóis. E agora, que nem na última live, eu vou colocar o barulho da Tardes pra dizer que eu tô indo embora no final da live. Muito obrigada a todo mundo que me acompanhou até aqui. De novo, parabéns pro Rika mais uma vez. E nos vemos. Tchauzinho, pessoal.